Good morning, my friends, my followers, my awesome subscribers, and my warriors, my members of the channel. Thank you very much for continuing to support me on this YouTubeist journey. Anyway, it is Saturday, the 14th of September. Right, so last night, here's what happened. I attended my local community centre who were having a meeting. They invited this lawyer to give all this information. Now, the meeting started at 8 p.m, but I arrived, don't know why, at 7. And I got there and I helped out with bits and pieces. I noticed there was people sitting in the garden of the community centre, all having a chat on the tables. And I walked in and I went, hello, I thought the meeting was at 8. And oh, yes, it is, Trevor. This is the committee meeting. I went, okay. And there was a lawyer briefing them up, just giving them information, helping the community. Anyway, I went in later on and I sat down at the table, grabbed my Guinness, sat at the table. I sit at, do you know what I noticed though? I noticed my age. I sit at a table with people's dads and granddads and grandmothers, and I fit in there. And I'll tell you why. It's not because in my head I'm old. It's because they have the same thought process as me. We don't believe in today's nonsense. We sit back and we just go, yeah, and I'm our day. And I'm going, yeah, when I grew up, it was like this. So I have that mentality where I can't sit at a table with a 19-year-old or 22-year-old or 25-year-old because they talk nonsense. Anyway, anyway, there we go. So I sat there, had my Guinness, started chatting. Papers get passed around. Do not mention, papers that sit and pass around all the locals. Don't mention this, don't mention this, don't mention someone's name, because what's going to happen tonight is there will be minutes taken of what was discussed, and the parish council can request those minutes. So if you have slandered or defamed anyone, you could be liable. And I'm like, oh, fair point, fair point. Okay, I understand that. So we sat there, we chilled. And it's all about, well, the council wants to, the council are annoyed because someone wrote on Facebook about the council was rubbish and it's really annoyed them. And someone wrote that East Anglian Daily Times and they read that and they were disgusted and they're now standing firm and they want to basically double the rent. Them doubling the rent, we're not bringing in enough membership to pay for the rent. They've given us too much. They've given us a new contract today. It's 2 months notice and I'm like, wow, okay. Now in the back of my head, I'm sitting there and I have my own thought process, which isn't like anyone else's. Everyone's sitting there going, well, what do we do here? Do we raise money here? Do we do this? Do we do that? In my head, I'm thinking, I'm going to scream in a minute. But I didn't. I just went, okay. Now, it used to be the council went, only 3% of the community used the community centre anyways. Well, that was before all the pubs closed. Now, everyone uses the community centre. It's the only place where we can have an alcoholic drink. And they use bingo. Women have bingo there. There's different things. When I arrived last night to have a look in there was kids doing ballet dancing in there who'd hired the hall. There used to be a youth club there, but the council, the parish council, got rid of the youth club. Don't ask me why, but there we go. So I'm sitting there and he goes, okay, I want to open it up to the floor. Any questions? And there was a question about trustees of this and trustees of that. And I just went, I have a question for you. And he went, yeah, 1 second. And someone else asked a question. I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, I've still got that question. And he goes, yeah, I'm coming over. I says, right. Now everyone was looking at me. What's he going to do? I'm like, okay, the parish council work for us, yeah? Why don't we just do a petition of no confidence in the parish council? And then if the community sign it, we can get those out that are causing issues and replace them with good people. And he went, well, we can do that. Someone else went, behave. I went, well, can we? He says, well, we can. Would everyone here be willing to show hands to support this? Put your hand up if you think we should do a vote of no confidence. All the hands went up. I'm like, you're welcome. Problem solved. Anyway, there we go. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. That was last night. Yes. It would be wrong of me to go through today without saying happy birthday today to Henry Wales, who's spending it with his family. I'm gutted I never received an invite to the birthday party tonight with all your mates. And then I realised you don't have any mates. So, yep. Anyway, there we go. Let's move on from that. And if you didn't know, the British Broadcasting Corporation, did you know about them? Well, we know lots about them, don't we? Well, now, people ask me about Gary Lineker, and I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't like Gary Lineker's political views, but I'm going to be honest with you. He is an outstanding football pundit. I'm not going to destroy someone just because it's the thing to do. And the BBC will be hard pressed to replace him because he's so much knowledge of the game. Whether you like him or not, doesn't matter. He's a great football pundit. Alan Shearer's a good pundit as well. If I'm honest, who do I think is the best football pundit? Roy Keane, because he's no holds barred. He's honest, he's upfront. He's not everyone's cup of tea, but I like him. Anyway, Jeremy Guinness was meant to replace Gary Lineker as the guru of BBC Sport. He was. And then allegations about him and texts, he's got the sack. Well, the BBC now have a new front runner. His name is Mark Chapman. And I have watched him in the past. And I'm going to be honest, I like him. I'm not saying I watch BBC, because I don't. But I'm just saying, as a football pundit, I suppose he's good. He's actually very funny as well, so it's not a bad choice, actually. But I'm all for letting retired footballers talk about the game. They know exactly what's going on, so I think they're the best people, in my opinion, clearly. But there we go. And what else have I got here? Yes, the Prime Minister's programme to release prisoners onto the streets of the UK. We all said it would backfire, didn't we? We all said it would backfire. You're making the streets unsafe. You're filling jails with people that rioted. I get that. If they rioted, they deserve to be punished. But if it's one tweet, if it's one post, if it's one thing they've put out there, then they should not go to jail. Just by saying one thing, I hate Keir Starmer, you can't go to jail. I mean, for instance, that guy that went to jail for the email to Angela Rayner saying, "I hope you burn in hell," that should never have went to jail. Truthfully, community service, maybe. At the very most, maybe a light fine. Jail, no. But you've released people onto the streets that are dangerous. In fact, listen to this for stupidity. One prisoner that had just been released from jail was being driven to the train station by a female prison officer who he sexually assaulted and went straight back into jail. Another person got released, was out for an hour, and he reoffended and went straight back in. Was there no impact assessment made on any of these prisoners before they were released onto the streets? Now, as far as I'm concerned, and this is what I would do, if I was that female prison officer and I had just been assaulted by that prisoner who's been released, I would sue the jail. I would sue the government for letting somebody out that's dangerous. You knew, you didn't do an impact statement, an impact assessment. You let this person out hoping that he would be a good boy, and he messed up. So unless all these people start suing the government, we may see something change. It's actually shocking what's happening to our society at the minute. It's not a good look, is it? Well, believe it or not, tonight I have my little Saturday night show. I hope you join in. I've just had a guy contact me while the video was on. I seen his message come up on my screen. I'm not going to mention his name, but I've got him lined up. He was meant to come on this week, but if you can imagine now, he is extremely busy. He's just texted me to say, "Trevor, next Saturday it's on." I've got a guy coming on who is in security, who can give us 100% insight into royal protection and what that entails and why things are happening with royal protection, the funding, the job, and Ravak. So he's always on the television. He's always talking about things, and we've got him lined up for not this Saturday, but for next Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that. It's nice to have people that you know in lovely corners, and we will be able to discuss certain things. Tonight's going to be good though, so I will see you hopefully 7 p.m. tonight for my Saturday Night Live. Listen, people, thanks for all your support. I do appreciate it, and I'm going to say this one last time. Never turn your back on friends that are going through a shit time. That's the time they need you. And that's the bottom line. If you want to class it as anything else, class it as anything else. But that's where I am. I'm loyal to people around me, regardless of the mistakes they make. Okay? And if that comes across as something else, I don't give a damn. At least my friends know that I will never turn my back on them. Anyway, listen, have a wonderful day. It's Saturday. Get out there. The sun looks quite good. It's going to be quite warm today. So take care, people, and stay safe.